This is a call for an uprising. Welcome to today's show. I've covered this before. I've documented it. You watch this channel, you see it every day. I'm talking about it. Whether I'm showing you the movies, TV shows, music videos, the references to witchcraft, the deflection of, witch trial, witch hunt, and all this stuff that they use, this mind control on people, to last year having the Trump, the witches going after Trump. Now we have a witch gathering, a public hexing of this guy Kavanaugh. You can't even make, it's right there, right? But everybody's timid about, it's kind of like a joke. It's not real. And they don't realize, 99% of the movies you go watch talk about witchcraft. All of them. And then magic, your romance in life is magic, right? Everything's magic, all the music about magic, unbelievable. So we have a public hexing. So I'm going to show you this news clip. Take a look at this. And I got to say, everybody knows who watches this channel. Maybe you don't if you're new. I'm not a Republican or a liberal. I don't believe there is such a thing as left or right. I don't watch Fox News. I don't watch MSNBC. I'm not interested. I don't care. I don't follow InfoWars, anyone that plays into it. You're entitled to watch, the things that you want to watch, use your own discernment. Believing in the politics stuff is non-salvational. So if you want to believe in it, it makes you feel better to think Trump is a savior. In my opinion, that he's not. Jesus Christ, the only savior. But nonetheless, I'm going to show you this clip, and I'm actually surprised that this guy Tucker Carlson referenced ritual sacrifice, going along with the theme that I'm always talking about here. So take a listen, and I'll talk more after the video.
Well, Brett Kavanaugh went through a lot to get on the Supreme Court, including bogus charges of gang rape, but he's there and there for life, or that's what you thought. The question now is Kavanaugh's powerful legal mind strong enough to withstand the forces of witchcraft? It's a real question now. A coven of self-described witches in New York is planning a rally next week to put a hex on Justice Kavanaugh. You can buy a ticket to attend this hexing ceremony for $10. A quarter of that goes to Planned Parenthood to help them continue to fund their human sacrifice rituals. Kathy Aru is the founder of Catalina Magazine. She's our liberal Sherpa, leading us to the snowy peaks of American progressive thought. And she joins us tonight. The rarefied air. I'm feeling dizzy up here, Kathy. Tell us, hexing. This would be kind of the latest tool in the progressive toolbox for positive social change?
The latest tool, it's going back. It's going backwards to witchcraft. We're going all the way back in our society to the days of hexing and witchcraft and spells and potions and santeria.
Santeria. So, that's not too surprising that the party that conducts witch hunts would also conduct witchcraft, right?
Well, it's a group actually in Brooklyn. I have the information. It's going to be next week, October 20th, in case any of your viewers wanted to go. It's going to be from 7 to 10 p.m. and everyone's welcome. It's open to the public, and if you don't have the $10, you're still welcome to go. So they're hoping that people who come to this hexing will then become activists and march and go to D.C. and have their voices heard. So they're hoping it's a stepping stone.
Well, it certainly is. It's a stepping stone to some pretty dark stuff. Yeah. Isn't it unfair, though? If you want to change the public's mind on a question, shouldn't you make your case? Is it fair to engage in witchcraft against them?
It seems that they have this Trump anxiety disorder that we talk so much about, that people are really kind of losing their minds. This Kavanaugh confirmation has caused people to now have to resort to witchcraft. And I think they truly believe, this group truly believes that this will work. And it's against rapists also in the United States. It's not just against Kavanaugh. It's against men who they consider rapists. And they've had 3 hexes against Trump, and they feel they were successful. They feel that the presidency isn't going as well. So they're hoping that
doesn't this say something? We used to laugh at less developed nations where people practiced witchcraft and witches were killed, human sacrifice took place, cannibalism. What does it tell you that in the very heart of Brooklyn, hipster HQ, people are doing what they do in, the most primitive places in the world?
I'm hoping it's a 5K run type of thing. I'm hoping it's for awareness. I'm hoping that it's so extreme that they're doing it as a sign of just awareness and getting their thoughts out there and letting it be known that they don't support Kavanaugh. I can't imagine they believe that this hex will work, but so perhaps some of them do believe in it.
I mean, a serious question, and I'm hardly a theologian or an expert in this stuff.
Yeah.
But what if it's true that not everything that's real we can see, and there actually are spiritual forces, and you're sitting around with a bunch of other dumb people summoning up dark forces? Like, would you want to be in the same room as something like that? Would you want to participate in that?
If they're like-minded people, and if I'm sitting with like-minded people, and these are like-minded people, and they truly do not agree with Kavanaugh being in our Supreme Court, and I want to summon the dark forces, then I can go to an event. I mean, it's America. There's an event for everyone.
No, right.
So here it is.
So, but why wouldn't a hex be an act of violence against somebody?
I don't know if it necessarily works. It's a hex. I don't think they're necessarily going to send something hurtful to him. It's not hurtful. It's a peaceful gathering, from what I understand.
It's a peaceful hex.
From what I understand, it's a peaceful hex. It has bad intentions, but they're like-minded people causing no one harm.
Causing no one harm.
Wishing harm, but causing no harm.
Just hexing people. No problem at all. Turning people into zombies, summoning Satan to work his dark magic on people they don't like. Not a big deal.
No.
I get it. Are you going, by the way?
I don't think I'm going to go, but if your viewers would like to go, we did share the information. I don't think I can
hope we didn't. I think it's the creepiest thing I've ever heard. And by the way, what if it's real? I'm serious. Like, what if this is real? You want to be around that stuff? I'd run the other way. What?
Well, it's against rapists. So, I mean, if it's against bad guys and it's real, then it's a good thing. But against Kavanaugh, nothing was proven against him.
Yeah.
So I hope that's not real.
I mean, boy. Really? So let me get this straight. We have a public hexing. This is allowed to happen in public, and they're selling tickets. Christians aren't allowed to pray in public, right? Remember some of the videos I did for some of you old subscribers who are longtime subscribers, right? Public prayer in a park, getting thrown out, having the police come. Can't bring a Bible into school. But it's okay for the witches to gather to put a hex, which is supposed to be something bad, right? But we're supposed to think it's like a big joke, right? Like, oh, they're just having fun, right? And you get this dumb woman on here who's like, oh, I would sit with like-minded people. Oh, it doesn't matter if witchcraft and this stuff's going on because, I don't know. And this all goes back to we're going all the way back to the medieval time period with witchcraft. Oh, yeah? Are we going all the way back? They're acting like, oh my goodness, they're talking about witches and spells like we don't see this every day. That's because they're indoctrinating you with it. Then when it comes on the news, people are supposed to be like, oh, wait a minute. That's strange. They don't even realize that all the movies they watch are about witches and magic. All of them. Every Disney movie is about witches and magic. You'd be hard-pressed to find 10 that aren't. Every single couple months, Disney releases something it's about. Right? And then the funniest part is they're selling tickets for $10. I mean, which is just shows you what lowlifes these witches are. Selling tickets. So they're hexing a guy, but they're making money off of the guy's name. Because, everybody now knows who this Kavanaugh guy is because you can't even blink without seeing his name somewhere on the internet, on the TV, right? It's the water cooler talk. So they're making a buck off this guy. And on top of it all, where are they donating the money? Planned Parenthood. What a surprise, right? What a surprise that these Satanists and witches all have the same charity that they care for, right? The satanic temples and churches, all are everything Planned Parenthood, women's rights, right to abortion, right? And now the witches, their charity of choice happens to be the same thing. Boy, must be a coincidence because it, involves child sacrifice. I mean, it's unbelievable. It's, right? I mean, it's right in our faces. So the money is going to Planned Parenthood that they're charging off of this guy's name. But people aren't going, oh, ritual sacrifice. Now, like I said, this guy Tucker mentions it in there, which is good. But again, you can even see, he's a guy who's on mainstream media. I mean, he's had debates with the Satanic Temple people before. But I have a tough time buying into anybody being in the media actually being for truth. I try to watch the behavior when they talk, right? their behavior of, he's like, oh, if the witchcraft stuff's going on, I'm going to run. So he's still saying that, he doesn't really believe in witchcraft and all that stuff, right? So he's saying, oh, they do ritual sacrifice and all that. And he calls the abortion ritual sacrifice what it is. And then when he talks about, the supernatural side of it, the witchcraft and the sorcery, he's like, I would run. Well, I know I wouldn't. I would take this thing on head on, like somebody from the 1700s. Screw the pitchfork, I don't need anything. Just me. That's the way these things should be handled. Can you imagine? I mean, I know I say it a lot, but can you just really imagine 200 years ago? Public hexing, selling tickets. And it's like people are like, this is great. Women are getting together to put spells on this guy, right? But it's not real. Oh, but every single thing in the media is referencing magic and witchcraft. We live in the dumbest time period, folks, with the dumbest people. There's no doubt about that. I don't think that can be debated at this point, right? That we have these witches getting together. They just did it to Donald Trump, right? We have like Lana Del Rey and these celebrities came out and said, witches, let's get together and put spells on Trump, And I was going nuts when I made videos on it, not because I was a Trump supporter. I never support any of these people because I think they're all in the same secret society, the same brotherhood. I think everyone should believe that, but everyone's entitled to their own opinion. And I obviously could be wrong about something like that, even though I highly 99.9% would doubt it. I'm pretty close to 100%. But nonetheless, we could agree to disagree. But I was outraged because we have witches coming out in public admitting all this stuff, admitting to like spells and stuff like that. So like, isn't that a form of like abuse or attack? Like you can't even spit in someone's face. You can't even breathe on somebody. It's assault. So what is it considered with witchcraft? Oh, but it's not real, right? Oh, right. Then why are we always talking about it? Why do I have to hear about it 9,000 times a day from every TV show and every musician? If it's not really real, then what are these women doing when they're getting together? Oh, it's a show, right? It's like a Broadway show. Is that what we're supposed to believe? What are they going to go see Wicked right after it? Oh, just another show about a witch? Man, talk about coming out of the dark. The Taylor Swift songs that coming out of the woods. They are coming out of the woods quicker than I think anybody really could have imagined. And, a lot of people were saying to me in the beginning, hey, you're crazy about this stuff. And people were saying, oh, but, it's not going to be accepted once people see them doing it. Oh, yeah? What do you think all this dreams come true and all these other taglines they're using and this transhuman, it's all mixing together. And it's all, our plan is working because people are okay with this. Like, 100 years ago, you couldn't, these witches wouldn't last 5 seconds if they did a public hexing. There'd be a public hanging. Okay? That's what would happen. Now we got tickets being sold so it could go to Planned Parenthood. Can't make it up. Give me an absolute break. When will people realize this stuff is real and it's really going on? They only see it and talk about it every day, but it's a big joke, right? People don't realize how dumb they are in the year 2018. Thank you for listening to today's show. God bless all of you and your families.